Epic has just updated the Fortnite Creative/UEFN roadmap, and let me tell you, it's pretty interesting. There's some really good news in here, and there's also some pretty bad news. But anyways, without further ado, let's just get to it. So like last year, there's obviously going to be Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then the scheduled releases, but we're going to start with Q1, which is going to be January, March of this year. Probably just February to March, because January's already done, but anyways. Obviously, just know that like custom items, the features in here and the timing for when they're arriving is subject to change, and it's not certain that they're going to be arriving at this time. I'm sure you know that by now, but anyways, let's start off in Q1 2025 with the user interface template. And this user interface template is basically just a way to learn how to create your own custom UI widgets, materials, and textures using UMG, and UMG being the Unreal Motion Graphics UI designer, whatever. You can examine a variety of user widgets and use their bindings to better understand how widgets are laid out and how to bind them for Fortnite devices. You also get a host of useful UI materials and functions to add to new and existing projects to start building UI quickly. Now, this is really useful for people who don't really know how to use materials and how to set them up with, I don't know, any really UI stuff. This goes into another thing down here, which is custom UI widgets, which I'm going to get into in a minute. So I'm just going to do it now. And basically, custom UI widgets allow UEFN users to have the ability to their own HUD elements and install them to make their experience look and feel unique. Creators can leverage UMG to create UI and with custom materials and animations. These UI elements can be updated dynamically by data changes in verse. As you know, there's a lot of custom UI in Fortnite right now, but there's still a lot of limitations. Like you can't make a custom minimap, or same with inventories and stuff like that. It's hard to do that because there isn't any support for it yet. But hopefully when this comes out, there will be. And obviously the user interface template will also hook into that. So if you don't know how to set it all up, you'll have this template to give you materials and functions to let you build custom UI easier, which is a godsend, right? Because you don't have to figure it out yourself, because Epic will just let you know. Pretty cool. Next up, we got Scene Graph in beta, which is the beta release of Scene Graph. And Scene Graph is an entity and component framework that enables creators to dynamically manipulate objects in their game. The Scene Graph is now in beta release, which enables publishing of projects using entities, components, and prefabs. Now, I know Howtwoboss is now in beta, but it's actually not out yet. It's still kind of in the pre-release. But Scene Graph is a really powerful thing, and it's going to be built on it over the next few years. It's going to have a lot of new functionality being added to it, and it's going to be basically the new way you want to make stuff with. I have a video on Scene Graph, but to be honest, it's probably going to be pretty out of date when this new release comes out, so I'll make a new version. But anyways, I'll try to include verse this time too, but we'll see. Scene Graph is very important. You want to keep an eye on Scene Graph. Next up, we got the Spatial Profiler, and the Spatial Profiler already came out. I have a tutorial on it. To be honest, it was quite limited, but luckily for us, it looks like Epic are making it a lot better. So in here, the Spatial Profiler is getting a significant upgrade. A session browser allows navigating between the live session where metrics are captured and visually saved sessions. Pretty cool. The Spatial Profiler can now load multiple files to better compare previously saved metric data. A tree view represents the metrics contained within a session. Each metric has a status indicator to communicate its performance state. The new histogram view provides a timeline to signal performance spikes for each metric during a live session capture, zoom, and value navigation in the heat map. It's really useful. The Spatial Profiler can now sample multiple sources in the live session, allowing creators to gather client and serve metrics simultaneously. Pretty cool. And the Spatial Profiler now remembers previously metric selections, streamlining capture sections. So a lot of great improvements to the Spatial Profiler. Next up, we got Rift Point capabilities. And if you don't know what this means, it's just a ballistic device, the bomb you plant. This is what the Rift Point is. So the Rift Point volume device provides creators with a set of customization options, such as plant time, defuse time, detonation, as well as team or individual players. You can plant and defuse the Rift Point item. The device and the item will allow creators to build up ballistic style games, which is pretty cool. Now, obviously, Fortnite has the ballistic guns. They have obviously a lot of the great maps. I know people are making ballistic maps, and it's gonna be really cool for people who want to make ballistic maps, because now you'll have the Rift Point item, which is basically, the bomb, the CSGO bomb. You can use that. And there's going to be a Rift Point volume device, and there's also going to be a Rift Point item. So you obviously place the volume somewhere, and in that volume, that's where the players place the device and blow up the point or whatever you want to do with it. Again, it doesn't even have to be ballistic. You can just use this probably like any other kind of game, but you probably will use it in ballistic. So yeah, pretty cool. Next up, we got pre-matchmaking content download, and content download will happen after video reducing matchmaking failures caused by players canceling or failing to download data in time. Basically, what this is when you're loading into a Fortnite creative map and has a little downloading thing at the top, instead of downloading the content of the island when you press ready up, it's going to automatically just download it when you select the island. So you'll already have it downloaded when you ready up and load in, because usually if you're playing with all your buddies, you wouldn't load in immediately. You had to wait for them. This is really helpful because it just helps with the loading times, because when you load into a UEFN thing, you know how long the download things can take sometimes. So to have that already out of the way when you load hint. Pretty cool. Next up is the one we already knew about, which is text chat repositioning, and creators use text chat the HUD control device to adjust the location of text chat on the screen for their islands. So there's obviously an option that's going to be added to the HUD controller. It might actually already be in game. I'm not sure, but I've been on break for a few days already. I haven't had time to cover this update. That's why this video's a bit late. But anyways, when I say break, I wasn't really on break, but you know what I mean. I was kind of busy. But anyways, just like the mini map and the inventory, if you just press the little yes button right below, if you want to display the text chat on the HUD, you can move it around on the HUD like anything else. Cool. We already covered that. Enable HUD and passive UI. This is another thing we already knew about. Creators will have the ability to the UI and game from gameplay in verse. Property interfaces serve as a means to bind data settable in verse properties on UI widgets. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Test players. Another thing we already knew about. Finding a way to spawn and remove test players on game start and during a session from edit sessions. Test players act as idle players, allowing creators to test multiplayer logic, including players starting a game as well as joining and leaving game progress. Again, very cool things. Now, I wonder in the future if test players gets upgraded crazy, where basically they use like some like AI to basically this is stupid, but like they get AI to play Fortnite maps basically. So if you have a map, I know you can do this with the guard device and NPC spawner, but if you have a map where you want to have 12 players in a lobby to fight, you can use AI bots to fill in for real players if there's not enough people playing, if that makes sense. Like just kind of like how regular Fortnite does it with a battle royale. Now I know bots are a pretty controversial topic. I know people find bot gameplay very exhilarating, but again, for creators who are really small and they have maps that need a lot of players, like for example, out of the top of my head, conscript map, those maps where they have massive amount of players in the lobbies, those maps are really fun if you have many players in it. And having AI bots that shoot around, run around, pretty useful for creators. But anyways, again, I know you can do this with the guard device, but it'd be cool if it just automatically does it. Of course, these bots do not count for the player count of the map, otherwise, pretty exploitable, but you know how it goes. Anyways, next up we got audience metric enhancements and improved device data. The audience tab gets an update to include click-through rates, as well as filter for geography and sources on some existing charts. XP and analytic devices metrics get a new home on your island's analytics tab that will now show a trend over time. So this is just stuff for the creator portal, pretty useful stuff. Filter for geography is really cool because you can see what parts of the world are playing your map. Like most likely, because obviously if your map is in English, probably only the English-speaking countries will play it. That makes sense, and so on. But if you have a map that has like a Spanish translation, people from Spanish-speaking countries play it. You know how it goes, stuff like that. You can just see that, and also sources. So I'm guessing that's like console, PC, Nintendo Switch, mobile, whatever. Anyways, so that's it for Q1. So we're on to Q2 now, and first up, we got memory calculation updates. Now this sounds pretty cool, and it is pretty cool. Creators have an optimized, faster memory calculation process for evaluating runtime resource usage. This enhancement ensures the islands authored by creators remain playable across all Fortnite supported devices and platforms without interruptions due to out of memory crashes. In particular, sampling and location generation is faster on larger islands. So obviously memory needs improvements, especially the memory calculation. To be honest, I think the bar for memory is a bit low, and I feel like they could be a bit higher because that was in place about 8 years ago, and it's been quite a while, and everybody's kind of moved on to the newer generation, or the current generation I should say. So because it's been like 7 years, bro. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I know they've improved it over time, but you know how it goes. Next up we got the elimination camera, and basically creators can now use custom cameras in the space between being eliminated and switching to a spectate through a new setting in the custom camera devices. So that's pretty cool. I wonder what people use this for. Probably obviously people like doing the eliminations, or not the eliminations, the kill animations, whatever they're called, the executions, or even like cameras that move around or whatever, it doesn't matter. Next we got general physics experimental, and this is just obviously physics will be introduced as an experimental feature by opting in. Creators will enable physics-based player characters and apply physics to Fortnite props. This unlocks the potential for true network physics sandbox gameplay, allowing creators to build interactive emerging games for their players. Again, it's pretty cool having physically based player characters. That'll be fun, and obviously Fortnite props. Again, physics has been delayed quite a bit. Same with custom items. It's one of those things that keep getting further and further away from us the closer we get to them. Anyways, player movement device. This is new. A device that allows allows creators to tune players' character movement. This replaces the existing tuning used by experiences such as ballistic. The modes include walk, run, sprint, crouch, down but not out, swim, glide, skydive, glide, etc. Example of some properties to modify max speed, acceleration, deceleration, etc. So again, very useful stuff here. The player movement device. Again, some of the most annoying things with UEFN is the limitations on the player character and what you can do with them. And this will open up so many more avenues for what you can do. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Anyways, next up we got player input. Player input. Adding support for adding and removing input mapping contexts and binding to input actions through verse. Creators can now overwrite the jump input to perform a custom action, add, remove an input mapping context to a player during gameplay, and access a full set of curated input mapping contexts. The creator can rely on a functional mobile experience regardless of the use of input and verse. This is really cool. Basically, you know how you have to use the input trigger device to get it to override inputs for the player? You can now just do it in verse, which is crazy. Because obviously before you have to use the input trigger with verse to do this, but now you can just do it in verse. Probably with the fourth character of the player or something like that. Doesn't matter. We'll see how it goes. Next up is the time of day manager or TDOM deprecation. And if you don't know what this is, it's with the upgrade to the TDOM comes the retirement of the Skydome device. In order to make lighting adjustments to existing legacy islands, creators will have the option to upgrade to the new Chapter 5 TDOM and the day sequence device. All new islands will continue to only use the Chapter 5 TDOM and the day sequence device. So basically, this basically is, I think, they announced this a while back, and I thought it was going to come in like December time, but it never happened. And it's in Q2, so it's not going to happen until at least April. So we'll see. And also, first to say, Q2 is April to, I think, June. That's Q2, anyways. So if you have old islands using the Skydome device, best to update them to the new TDOM and the day sequence device. And again, if you do update, you do have to do it all again. And I don't think its settings will transfer if you do upgrade. So you do have to do everything again, which is kind of annoying. But anyways, next up we got Bubble Chat, which is Bubble Chat is the new creator feature designed to elevate social interaction in your map. When Bubble Chat is enabled, players' messages will appear both in the chat window and easy to read bubbles above their avatars, creating more immersive social occurrence. This feature is integrated with current text chat system and maintains all the existing text filtering capabilities. So kind of like classic games like Club Penguin, you can have a bubble chat above your head. I think it's already in Brick Life. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it is in Brick Life. So having that enabled in creator maps, pretty cool. Anyways, next up we got search history for creative content browser. So this is just for 1.0, and if you find you can go back into your search history and find the previously stuff that you've searched up, which is pretty cool. And another thing is the creative content browser history, which is creative content browser will provide a long-running history of assets placed. This feature allows quicker access to recent use assets in order to save steps in building an island. Pretty cool stuff. Next we got spectator improvements, and creators can have more control over how the players can control their camera while illuminated. These improvements allow creators to enable and disable spectating, customize the spectating experience and prioritization of teammates and enemies, and place a fixed location target for players to spectate, example an arena. That's pretty cool. Next we got Verse Leaderboards beta, and this is pretty cool. In the beta release of Verse Leaderboards, we're introducing a Verse API to allow creators to create leaderboards for their islands using Verse code. With this feature, players will be able to see one or more top 10 high score lists for an island they're playing. So again, this is really great for like speedrun maps or like obviously competitive based maps. Very useful. You can have like leaderboards with other players. If you remember, like a while back, Epic made this speedrun course, and it had a leaderboard in it. I'm gonna guess it worked like that. I forget the name of it, and I spent the last like 15 minutes looking for it. I cannot find it anywhere. It's like been erased from history. But if you know what I'm talking about, there was a map that had a leaderboard, and it was like a map, an aiming course where you shoot at targets, and you have to jump across things. It was like a leaderboard that was made by Epic and everything. I remember there was the skin, which is Cult Team Leader, which was like the rusty version of her on the thumbnail, and she was like going through a door or something. I don't remember. It was like that, I swear. Oh my god, guys, I found it. It's called the Combine. I spent like the past hour just going through the history of playing this. This is the image I'm talking about. It was like a limited time mode that was a combat test. It had to get the fastest time. If I look it up. Okay, now here's some gameplay of it. This is so old. It's so old. Does anyone remember this? It's by Ben the Hitman 32 from 5 years ago. If I just scroll through here, this is an edit course, or not edit course. This is like an aim course that Epic made that like you can like do a time trial with. Oh my god! Like see and go past here. This is the zipline shooting course. I remember this part. And hold on a minute. There's a leaderboard at the end. I remember specifically there being a leaderboard at the end. Right here. See that right there? That's the leaderboard. We're gonna look at the leaderboard, actually. We go back. Oh my god, this is so annoying. This is the worst footage. Right there is the leaderboard. I swear, that's a leaderboard. Anyways, okay, that's what I mean. Okay, I swear. I went into a bit of a rabbit hole there, but anyway. Anyways, on to the next thing. Debug commands, which are pretty cool. A debug command menu will be available to creators when testing their islands. Creators will have the ability to author custom verse debug commands, populate the menu. Pretty cool stuff here. So you can make your own commands using verse, and you can use them to debug your island. So let's say if I make a command, or I can make myself invincible, I have a button that says invisible, and there we go, perfect. Pretty cool. There's already debug stuff in creative, and but you know, some things it'll be cool to be able to make your own. So that's it for Q2. Now Q3 is next, and obviously Q3 is July to, I believe, September. So let's see what we got here. Camera component. With a camera component, creators will be able to control higher level camera behavior, such as choosing the active camera mode, updating the currently active camera mode, and building between camera modes when the camera mode when a new mode is chosen. This component allows the selection of camera modes and decides which one should be active every up. Now, if I'm correct, I believe this is for scene graph because it's a component. So you'll be able to put this into a scene graph thing and have cameras in each scene graph, and you can update which camera is the one you want to use. But we'll see. Anyways, next up we got some sad news. Custom game items has been delayed again. So sad. Laying the foundations for custom items and inventories, which can be used alongside existing battle royale items, allowing for more variety and new type play. So obviously this is for custom items and inventories. And remember, this is not weapons, alright? This is items and inventories. So just know that, okay? Now again, I talked about custom items a lot, but it's just so sad that you can delay it again. Anyways, okay, next up, custom pop-up dialogue. Creators will be able to create their custom widgets to display it through a pop dialogue device. Again, I feel like we already have this. We already have this? I swear we already have this. I don't know what this means. Is this 1.0 getting this? I have no idea. We'll see. But we already have this. Next up, we got skill-based matchmaking, which is great for competitive maps. Creators can opt in to enable a very simple version of skill-based matchmaking for their island. So yeah, so you can have skill-based matchmaking for your island. Pretty cool. Next, we got Thing Client, which is introducing install management and modular game mode approach with smaller upfront download on PC and mobile. This is a phase project, and some components may ship prior as we build towards the desired end date. So obviously, Thing Client is just being able to manage your installation and don't have to download every single thing in Fortnite. You just want to play one mode, if that makes sense. So it's pretty cool. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a leak about Thing Client. There was like a menu in the search and discover, wherever it was, I can't remember, where you can like change, you can enable, disable, and like delete, install if part of Fortnite, basically. Because obviously Fortnite's getting pretty big in size. If you look at how big it is in Epic's launcher, it's about 128 gigabytes, which is quite a lot. Do not look at my hours played. Anyways, so it's getting quite big. So and it's kind of annoying having to download that much gigabytes just to play one singular mode. So Thing Client is really useful for people who don't want to do that. And then in Q4, which is obviously October to December 2025, we're gonna get ranged weapons. Now basically what this means is creators can make items that respond to input and are capable of behaviors such as firing, reloading, aiming on sight. So this is custom ranged weapons. So this is an extension of custom items. Custom items experimental here, which is ranged weapons. And obviously we might have melee weapons in the future. I think we already had custom melee weapons one, but they got removed, sadly, when UEFN came out with a melee manager, I think. But this is like a new thing. Hopefully it's coming out that time. Hopefully, we'll see. And then last but not least, we got gameplay attributes, which is allow creators to make and manipulate gameplay attributes such as health. Gameplay attributes are a result of a formula supporting runtime manipulation and such as buffs and debuffs. Yeah, pretty cool, I guess. Pretty cool. And then obviously here we have our scheduled releases, and these are the scheduled releases, and obviously, you know, these do this, so as you change, blah blah blah. And there you go. So that's the roadmap for 2025. Let me know what you all think. If there's one thing I'm most excited for, probably is obviously going to be custom game items and maybe physics still. Some of the new stuff I'm looking forward to would be probably the player input, player movement device, verse leaderboards, wherever that was, there it is, and maybe the brief point capabilities. This also sounds pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's been quite a while since I made a video. Okay, I was kind of very busy, and I know Dreamlands got delayed. Okay, it's coming out, I swear. It should be coming out on the 7th. Okay, and also I know this video is also a bit late as well, but obviously for the same reason as Dreamlands getting delayed, I was really busy the past few days, but I should be good now. So back to uploading for me. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Remember to like, subscribe, use my code in the Fortnite shop, and thank you to all the members of the channel. And watch all of these videos for more of my content. That's about it. I'll see you all around.